Let's talk about those Twins, shall we? Twins haven't scored a single run in now 20 consecutive innings. After getting shut out the last two games, the Twins lose last night 5-0. Bailey Ober on the mound gets knocked around in his second consecutive shaky start. This time goes 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned. Twins bats, however, ice cold again. Of course, Reggie, you got to note, no Buxton, no Correa, no Kepler, no Luis Arraez. So it was obvious this wasn't going to be a double-digit game for their offense like, we're used to seeing every fourth, fifth game, but still got Sanchez, still got Polanco, still got Urshela. Reggie, Twins have now lost 3 of their last 4, 4 of their last 6, and 6 of their last 9 in what was supposed to be their soft spot in the schedule. The lineup and pitching staff is missing guys left and right with injuries and COVID. So where should the fans be on the panic meter right now?
There's a high level of concern, Luke. Like, this was supposed to be that soft stretch of the schedule, and they're losing 6 of 9 to teams like the Royals, the Tigers. Like, what's going on here? It was interesting because yesterday we were getting ready for the 6 o'clock show, and it came down like no Arraez, no Buxton, no Kepler. I was like, well, what are they even doing? Why are they even playing this game? What's going on here? Why are we even doing this? What's going on? And like, you knew that maybe it was like, look, I could have seen it going one of two ways. I'm like, of course, all those guys will be out and they end up scoring like 5 or 6 runs. Or what happened last night. But I don't think you really thought that they would get shut out. It was just like, dang, like, can't even muster up a run against the Tigers. Like, it's the Tigers, man. Like, you're not playing the Bears. You're not playing the Lions. You're playing the Tigers. And so I think it was just kind of, it was a little deflating from a fan standpoint to see them come out and not be able to muster up just about anything to get going. And that's tough, man, because you got this series with the Blue Jays this weekend. The Yankees are in the future. The Rays are in the future. Seattle's in the future. And you're just like, what's going on here? You try to head into some of those series with a little bit of momentum, and maybe the momentum is winning tonight, but it's just like, man, you go against these teams that you're supposed to be beating up on, and you're the one getting beat up on.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, these conversations were a lot more fun when the Twins were winning every day. Everyone's happy, butterflies and rainbows, but Twins have hit a stretch here where some fans were waiting to say, I knew this was maybe too good to be true. They're not this good, are they? Really? First place in the AL Central, dead last year. But if it's just a rough patch with all those injuries, failing to get your best 9 guys in the lineup night in and night out, or this is, in fact, the real Twins team we're finally now seeing, remains to be seen. One thing's for sure, though, things will only get tougher, as you mentioned. Schedule gets real coming up with the Blue Jays on the horizon. You just mentioned the other tough guys they're going to start playing. Twins could very well be without their top 2 pitchers for that Blue Jays series. ESPN released their latest power rankings. Your Minnesota Twins remain in the top 10. They dropped from 9 to the 10 spot this week.
Oh, no.
The article notes, yeah, I know, the sky is falling, Reggie. The article notes the Twins have lost 3 games as of late after owning an early lead, which points to their struggles in the bullpen that could remain a huge Achilles heel as they get into the heart of the summer and try to make a playoff push. Even still, though, they mention when healthy, the Twins do have a top 10 lineup, top to bottom in the MLB. So I guess, Reggie, your quick thoughts on the Twins rankings this week. And when it comes down to crunch time here, their chances of making a big move for a stud relief pitcher to plug into the bullpen.
I think they should, but I'm wondering, like, who do you give up that it's like you get someone for the interim probably, because that's just kind of how these things work out. But then you're giving up someone who is a long-term person for someone else. They keep, ESPN's got to chill, man. This is like the 3rd or 4th article that we've read on these power rankings where they bring up the Taylor Rogers, Chris Paddock trade. Like, give it a rest.
I'm sick of it.
Give it a rest. It happened already. We can't do anything about it. Chris Paddock is on the shelf with Tommy John now. Taylor Rogers looks like the best closer to ever close, outside of Trevor Hoffman, I guess. I don't know. He's Mariano Rivera all of a sudden.
Great name drops.
I'm just like, come on, man. Like, what's going on here? And so it's like, look, the guys that they've had fill in, they talked about Emilio Pagan being okay. He has been okay. But you got Duran at the back end of that bullpen, and him and Rogers would have formed a great 1-2 punch, 1-2 duo, whatever you want to call it. But like, they're doing okay in that regard. It's not the closer that they are struggling with. It's the other part of the bullpen. It's guys like Tyler Duffy coming in and giving up 3-4 runs, and Emilio Pagan just being okay. Coming over from the trade, and so I think it's tough, man, because the bullpen, with some of the struggles right now, the bullpen seems like the least of their worries at this point. It's like, look, they need to get the bats on track right now. And so if they get the bats on track and then they realize that the bullpen is still just going to be an Achilles heel for the team, which I think that it could be, then that's when you talk about making a deal at the deadline. But then when you do that, it's like, okay, who are you giving up? Because if you want a high-level bullpen arm, or at least a decent bullpen arm, you're going to have to give up someone decent. And that is the scary part, because you're just like, dang, man, like, we like some of the pieces that we got. We just want to get a little bit better. And as we saw with the Paddock-Rogers trade, like, you got to spend money to make money. They're going for broke now because, Paddock is on the injured list for the foreseeable future. But it's like, look, if you guys want to take a swing at a reliever that is going to be a difference maker, then maybe you have to give up someone notable to be able to do it. But I think, you start looking at some of these teams that are not doing great. Maybe you try to figure out some type of a deal with the Reds, or, one of these teams that are kind of just like just middling. Or not even middling. They're just struggling. And you try to see if you can broker a deal to get someone off of their team that is doing pretty good in their bullpen, that maybe you don't have to give up as much, because it's going to be tough to try to make a deal with someone and not give up someone that you really value in that organization.
After Rogers leaves San Diego Padres in free agency, and Paddock's out here pitching 7 innings strong every 5 days or so, we better see that from ESPN.
Keep that same energy.
That's right. And you're right, Reggie. I mean, you're pretty much looking at maybe trading away some of their top prospects, like the catcher Austin Martin's one of their best prospects. Again, mortgaging some future there to get somebody that can give you an instant impact this year as they get in that final stretch of the season in the summer, and then obviously try to make a postseason run. Again, when healthy, experts calling this one of the best 10 lineups in baseball, a lineup that should be beating the Tigers more times than not. And you don't want to overstate the fact, again, they're missing so many big key names, like in a game we saw last night. But truth be told, when fully healthy, this team should be a lot of fun when they get cooking once again. White Sox stay put at 14 this week, by the way, and the Guardians drop from 16 to 17 in ESPN's latest power rankings. So there you go. Twins look to pick up the pieces today in an afternoon game. Chris Archer on the mound looking to save the Twins from their recent heartache and get them back on track. First pitch.
He needs his first win, man.
Yeah, still looking for that first win. Rest assured, Reggie and I will be back tomorrow to break all that down.